And hello again, dear ones. Reverend Robert with you. It's a tough morning around our neighborhood today. And what should be a great and glorious and celebratory day in this household. Today is my eldest son's 16th birthday. And we had plans of how to celebrate that. And if you haven't heard, our neighborhood, our town, was interrupted with a gunfight yesterday afternoon. And I don't say that lightly. About a mile and a half from where we are right now, we don't know what exactly happened. What we do know is that somehow 3 people are dead at the end of guns. A police officer, a suspect, and a Samaritan. And as of this morning, preparing to come on here, that's all that we know. Don't have an idea of the timeline of events. I don't want to speculate what did or didn't happen here, what's going on. But once again, I find my life, my community, my state, my country interrupted by gun violence. And I find us asking, well, is today the day? No, okay, today can't be the day to have a conversation about how do we get guns out of the hands of people that aren't trained, ought not to have them, don't have a certification to have them of some sort. Or how do we license and register? And yeah, I know that's a dirty word if you own a gun, but I don't care. Death is a dirty word to me at this point. And how do we license and register and insure people that choose to carry a weapon? I don't know what the solution is, and I'm not here to find the solution. But what I am here to do, and you hear me talk about this again and again and again and again, it really does, it's not nice that we have to do this around this topic again and again and again. And all I really can do is change my own consciousness around this. I can only heal any sense of separation with what's happening and going on. So today's prayer, as a minister, there are days you do the work for everyone, and there are the days you do the work for yourself. And you never go a day without doing the work for yourself. And truthfully, you never go a day without doing the work for someone else. And truthfully, those two get so blended sometimes. I invite you to hear these words in whatever voice you need. Because today I could pontificate on something bigger, and today I'm still hurting. Today is a day of grieving. And so, yes, there is healing that is happening, and yes, there's change that needs to happen. And there are also days when we just need to be in the midst of what is. And what is today is a very interesting day of blending the both and. The celebration of life, the anniversary of life and giving birth, for my wife, giving birthday, and the mourning of a senseless, in my opinion, loss of life. If you'd like to join your prayers and with me, please feel free to do so. If you have a prayer request you'd like to send in to the team, please do so. you're in a safe place and close your eyes, please do so. It is here in this moment that I come to recognize the one. One power, one presence, one infinite intelligence that's moving and breathing and having its being as all of life. Life in this dimension, life in the next dimension. Immediately reminded by that one power that there is only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life. Therefore, that life is your life right now. We each live and have our being in this eternalness that is God's life, the one. From that power, presence, and intelligence, what emerges is a creative principle, a creative opportunity to create a co-creative experience. And we each are a divine emanation of God's life. You, I, everyone on this planet, a divine emanation of God's life. Even those that are confused or at the end of their rope or feel that the solution is at the end of a gun, even there is a spark of God. There is the God within, because it is all one. If that were not so, this would be a duality and this whole thing would have crumbled away long ago. So what I know is I know this one self-existent cause that is ever taking on form and abandoning that form in order to take on new form. That oneness is today emerging in a new way, in a new experience and a new expression. And we take this day to feel the truth in the morning, the honoring of a life of service. And the lives of those that have moved on in one way or another to bring more, even more light, even a greater light into this concern, this intersection in our lives, where guns and where it never seems to end well. There's no accusations, there's no judgment, there's no story here. There's simply the demonstration that it is time to transcend this human desire or sense of need or sense of separation that says I must have a gun, that my solution is solved at the end of a weapon, that I need a weapon for protection from those that feel their solution is at the end of a weapon. I claim in myself a consciousness, a shifting of consciousness that recognizes the problem is not truly the gun itself. The gun is the demonstration. The gun is the end point. The gun is that flash moment that says we must back this up and look for that cause, that belief system that is operating behind the activity. For what we know is what I claim for each in this experience of living is we have this inspired thought, we have these inspired ideas, these visions of how to bring forth a world that works for everyone, and then we take inspired action on them. Well, what I know is there are those that use that law backwards, that use it in reverse, and allow themselves to prove that they are unsafe, that they need protection, that their solutions cannot be met. And so I claim for a complete rewiring, a reimagining of recognizing this is a problem of belief. And if we can get to the belief soon enough, earlier enough, we never have to get to the point of the gun. I claim for myself, I claim for each one that hears these words, a deep, sorrowful love for those that gave their life yesterday to bring this light even greater into this question, into this social experience that we are having. Around personal weaponry, around illegal weaponry, around police weaponry, around the militarization, the this, the that, the everything. From whatever perspective we see this event, it is a beacon, it is a calling to say, where shall we stand? For what shall we stand? a claim and a calling in consciousness to be dedicated, be committed to building a more conscious and more aware, a safer community and society. And I claim and I speak a word, recognizing that there is a power for good in the universe, and that power for good is moving the hands and the hearts and the minds of countless souls into this next iteration of what life looks like, beyond the need for the gun, beyond the belief in separation that leads to the need for the gun, and provides us an opportunity to witness and experience and demonstrate true freedom. Freedom of the heart, freedom of love, freedom of the mind, freedom of the vision, unlimited freedom, absolute freedom. And this is a time for freedom, a national time between Freedom Day of Juneteenth and Independence Day of July 4th, a season of freedom and a season of peace. Freedom from the sense of separation, freedom from the sense of lack and limitation, free to be you and me. Freedom. And I hear the words of the music of John Baptiste and his new song, Freedom. If you haven't heard it, go check it out online. I am grateful, filled with gratitude for this moment, for this experience, for this sense of freedom, for this shifting of consciousness. And for each one that stands in alignment and in agreement with this, I invite you to join me in a heartfelt letting go, a release of the word into the law by just saying, and so it is. And so it is. Well, I feel a bit better. I trust you do too as well. A season of freedom from Juneteenth to July 4th. Hadn't thought of that until just this prayer. That came through. I love you all. I treasure you all. I invite every one of you to go hug the ones you love. Tightly. We've got a full day here, as we do on most days. So I'll be back at 10 with the Growing Edge. Between now and then, we've got Rev Melissa with the Morning Sip coming up in about a minute. Behind that, Rev Steph with Wake Up, Say Thank You. That's 9 to 9:30. Like I said, I'll be back at 10 o'clock with the Growing Edge. And Rev Z and I will be and the New Thought today is at 2 o'clock this afternoon. So I'm going to get out of here and get prepped for the Growing Edge. I love you. Peace and blessings. Thank you for being with us. Go catch Morning Sip with Rev Melissa starting right about now.